Hi there, and welcome to this week's Leading with Purpose Friday Digest. I hope you're having a great week. I wanted to take just a few minutes and talk about our brains as leaders. This is one of the areas that I really love to dig into research on because it's so fascinating to me how our brains and really the chemical soup that we're constantly swimming in within our own bodies is so impactful to how we show up as not only individuals, but more importantly, as leaders and the decisions that we make. So when we're thinking about the neuroscience behind our fear of delegation, it's a really interesting kind of root cause and self-awareness way to understand some of the factors or responses that our body and our brain, again, our brain tells our body what to do, is having to our environment and to how we think about our environment and what motivates us and how we feel successful or valued. And we all know that delegation is hard, but let's really look at the why behind it for a second from a neuroscience perspective. So really good delegation, if you have a task that's on your plate and for a variety of reasons, you want to help develop another individual. It is something that you just don't have the bandwidth to cover. It's urgent, but not important to you. All of these factors can drive us to and should encourage us to consider delegation, which is passing that task off to another individual to handle the responsibility to get it to the finish line. That could be a team member, someone who's junior to you, someone who is looking to grow their skill set and learn more. These are all great candidates, right? But we can't just basically say, here you go and walk away. That's not really effective delegation. Effective delegation includes some common things like really great communication about what the task is, what's expected, what success looks like, timelines, understanding the skill set of the person that you're delegating to in case they need more time, training, support, whatever it might be. These are just a couple factors that help make sure that the person that you're passing this task to can pick it up, understand what's required, and go do it and be successful. That's a win, right? Because as a leader, if some of these things can get off your plate, you can be more effective at doing what you're awesome at. Okay, so let's dig into why we struggle with that. So in our brains, we've got a lot of things going on. Obviously, we're constantly collecting information, and our brain is constantly doing things with chemicals, with nerve directions, etc. And I am not a neuroscientist, but it's certainly something that's interesting to think about, all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes without us even thinking about it. So delegating often is a struggle for individuals. And one of the most common reasons why is that people fear that the task that is being passed along will not be done, or it won't be done to expectation or on time. Something about that task not getting done causes us to feel fear that, this was ours, we delegated it, and now when it doesn't go well, it's going to be on us. And so that causes a natural reaction in the brain that our amygdalas, which are two little organelles on the sides of our brain, kind of kick in that fight, flight, freeze, right, kind of response to what we perceive as a threat to our stability, security, value, a lot of different things. It's usually very personal, but when that amygdala kicks in, it kind of cuts off our ability to think constructively, to really understand or see things other than a threat to us. So that's one thing that happens often. The other is, which I find this one really interesting, when we complete a task, when we complete a task well and are recognized for it, when we feel like we're purposeful in accomplishing things, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine. And this is a neurotransmitter associated with reward and motivation. So often, if we are not able to reframe the delegation of tasks to another person as a generous opportunity to help others grow, as a realistic sharing of responsibilities for tasks that need to get done, but maybe again, you don't have the bandwidth, etc. And so we may see delegation as an opportunity lost to accomplish something. We feel like we're in control if we do the task ourselves. So there's a natural dopamine release when we accomplish this. And it can be hard. It can disrupt the reward cycle when you delegate because you're giving that accomplishment to someone else. So it's a very interesting way to think about how our brains work. So definitely check out the blog below. Look into this more for yourself. Start to really look at what are some of the reasons why I might not be comfortable delegating. Is it something that I'm thinking about, a habit that I've formed? Do I need, or am I somehow driven by that dopamine cycle of getting to a point where I don't say no because I want to be busy? Busy means valued. It's not always the best way to go if we're trying to have a healthy work-life balance. So check out that blog. And as always, we are here to develop better and more purposeful leaders. Check in with us if we can help you explore this more, maybe with some coaching or self-awareness activities. Take care.